And I will be going first this week with the thing of the week, and that is the hidden dungeon only I can enter.
Okay, am I the only one who thinks that title sounds a little dirty?
No, it sounds a little dirty. And of course, it is a harem anime, so
Right.
yeah. But so the hidden dungeon is it's a fantasy. This isn't an isekai.
Okay.
Um, it feels like an isekai, but it isn't an isekai. It's so you've got the main character. His name is Noir. That's the young man right there, Noir Stardia, and he's from a class of nobility called a baronet, which is like bottom of the bottom, and he's the third son in this family. And
Oh man, so he's getting shit in the inheritance.
yeah, he's getting yeah. um, but the fact that his father is a total loser and can't hold down a job or and gambles all his money away,
Oh,
doesn't
that
help.
doesn't help either.
Yeah. So what happens is the show starts off where Noir he's just got out of school and he's getting his first job as a librarian. But unfortunately, he gets forced out of that job by a higher nobleman.
Mm.
And so then he ends up having to enroll in the Hero Academy. The problem is he doesn't have, he only has so he has one skill, and it's called Great Sage. And it's where he can talk to this sage telepathically. Unfortunately, a side effect of it is it gives him really bad headaches.
Mm.
And so he doesn't really use it very often. But then, of course, the blonde that you see front and center is his childhood friend Emma, and she finds out that actually kisses help with the headaches. So every time,
Okay.
so every time he uses his great sage skill, they kiss.
It's only medicinal, Baka.
Yes. uh, so um, so he goes does that, and then the two of them enroll in the Hero Academy. But then uh, the only way for him to get stronger is build his skills up in a hidden dungeon. So he goes to a hidden dungeon, and then there he meets an adventurer named Olivia Servant, and she's been held in captivity in this dungeon for 200 years. And she
Mm.
bestows all of her skills onto Noir, and his three skills are let's get creative, where he can make any skill he wants.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not broken.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a little cat. There is a caveat.
Okay.
And then editor, which means he can edit his skill or someone else's skills, and then bestow, where he can create or he can give a skill to somebody else. And what happens is when he uses one of these skills, it costs him LP, sort of like like magic points. And the only way he can build up his LP, and there are three ways he can build up LP: eat a lavish meal,
Okay.
spend a bunch of money, and do lewd things with members of the opposite sex.
I knew it. Also, wait, if the servant had the ability, if the servant girl had the ability to make up any power she felt like on the fly,
Hmm.
couldn't she make a escape dungeon power?
Ooh, you think so?
Eh, Daniel, I'm sorry to think that this show isn't especially well thought out and the plot isn't the point.
I'm beginning to think that too. But yeah, so then he gets into the academy, but then he of course has to get money, and then he joins an adventurer guild, and then of course Emma joins it with him because she has to go everywhere with him. And so of course the girl that's kind of in the back in the green dress, that's Lola. She's one of the guild receptionists. And
She looks like the type.
yes, and yeah, and of course she falls madly in love with Noir. And then
As you do.
yes, as you do. And then the elf girl, that's or no wait, I may be getting their names wrong. I think the elf girl is Lola, and then or no wait, I can't remember. I can't. Luna.
Always
Luna.
a wonderful son.
Yeah. Yes. Lola is the receptionist girl. Luna is the elf, and it's, of course, and they meet because they need her help with lifting a curse on a girl who is going to die on her 16th birthday. Sound familiar? Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking, what anime did they rip that off of?
No, well, they ripped Disney off. Well, yeah.
Well, they ripped off the Germans.
Yeah, they ripped off the Germans. And then, of course, the girl in the back, that's Alice. That's Noir's younger sister.
Oh.
Yes. She has a brother complex. So this is your stereotypical harem anime series.
Not gonna lie, it almost sounds like something you could have written up with an AI.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But as much as I've been poking fun at it, did you find it enjoyable?
A little, yeah. It's mainly, yeah, just for the interactions, obviously, and if you like, harem ecchi anime, this is going to be your thing.
This is one of them.
This is one of them, yes. And I would say the last episode is when things actually get interesting. We'll say that. But yeah, I mean, it's if you're looking for an anime to kill some time, you want to look at some waifus,
Mm-hmm.
Give it a watch. It's on Crunchyroll.
You could do worse.
Yes.
Speaking of people who could do worse, my thing of the week was Megamind, which I hadn't seen since I originally saw it in the theaters, and it was on Netflix last night, and I was needing something in the background while I was doing other things, so I said, sure, why not? So I feel weird about not wanting to spoil a 12-year-old movie at this point. So I'm not going to talk about the really big twist, but the basic premise is that Will Ferrell plays Megamind, who is a supervillain who fights, what is it, Mighty Man? Mega Man? But I forget what Brad Pitt's character's name is. He's the Superman-looking guy with the fringe.
Okay.
And basically, they've been Supermaning and Lex Luthering it up forever, and then one day he wins. He kills He kills the. Yeah, I need to look this up. This is going to bother me.
But so this is the movie where it has the meme of the character saying, "There is no Queen of England."
Yes, like there's no Tooth Fairy, there's no Santa Claus, and there's no Queen of England. Metro Man, that's it, because the city's called Metro City, or as Megamind keeps mispronouncing it, Metrocity.
Metrocity.
Which actually, now that I think about it, might be a Sonic the Hedgehog reference, because there's actually a level called in one of the games. Okay, so most of the level names in Sonic 3, I want to say, there was it was like the names always had a space in them intentionally, but there was some city where it was like I'll just see Metro City. It's like, okay, so are you supposed to pronounce, is it Metro City or is it Metrocity?
Metrocity.
This is actually a thing that Sonic fans argue about. So that might have been a stealth reference there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't actually called Metro City. It was like Velocity City or something. But anyhow, so he wins. It's like, okay, well, what does he do with himself now? He's achieved his goals. Like, there's nothing left to do. Fighting Metro Man gave him purpose. And so he takes on a humanoid human fake identity, gets close to the Lois Lane character there,
Yeah.
who's trying to bring him down, which is kind of funny. And he decides that what he'll do is he'll take the so-called nice guy, played by Jonah Hill, and turn him into a superhero form to fight.
Yeah.
The problem is that he's a stereotypical nice guy, which means he's actually black, like has a black heart that's very selfish, and he doesn't understand why Lois wouldn't like him. So as soon as you get superpowers, oh, Titan, you freed us! Not freed. Flick. We're under new management. So he has to bring down the villain he helped create. It's very interesting to watch it 12 years later. First off, it was made for 3D, so there are a few scenes like they throw donuts in the air. It's designed to like justify the 3D tickets.
Yeah.
It's like mildly distracting, but it's not too bad. It also, it's weird to see something that's like such a well-intentioned send up of superhero stuff when it was, you said what, 2010?
Yeah, 2010.
It was a year removed from Iron Man. Like, you would think that now would be the time to have peak superhero parodies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When there really hasn't been anything quite like this recently. Like, now there's in retrospect, I kicked myself for not seeing a particular plot twist coming, which I won't spoil it because I think that's like the biggest spoiler in the movie if you know about it going in. But it's like, okay, in retrospect, it was kind of telegraphed, but at the time I was just kind of enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And that's why if I'm sitting there predicting a movie left and right, that is often not a sign that I'm completely immersed in the movie. Like, so now it's a kid's movie, but it's like, it's that type of DreamWorks movies up until a certain point, like Shrek, it's a kid's movie, but it's a subversive kids movie, which kind of elevates it a little bit. This is definitely a subversive superhero movie because basically, again, it's the Lex Luthor perspective, asking, what made him a villain? What does it mean to be the villain?
Right. Yeah.
It's got a lot of classic rock all over the place because he has good taste in music.
Oh, well.
Also, apparently Hans Zimmer did the actual soundtrack, which is interesting.
Wow. The guy who did the Dark Knight.
But yeah, like it's on Netflix now. I strongly recommend it just because it's a good, relatively short watch. It doesn't make you feel bad. You come at the end of it, it's like, oh yeah, there is good in this world.
Yeah.
There is entertainment that isn't designed just to piss you off.
Yes, that's always a good thing.
Yep. The funny thing is, like, you know that DreamWorks was disappointed in the performance because we never got a sequel. When like friggin' Boss Baby got a sequel, that was kind of a different stage of their production.
Yeah.
This was still like the middle of the Shrek phase of their life.
Right. Yes. Yeah, the early days, and I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily call them golden age, but
compared to what they eventually became, golden age.
Well, yeah.
All right. Speaking of entertainment that's designed to piss us off,